Welcome back to the Jewelry Business Academy podcast, guys. And today we're doing a really special episode. We're doing another call-in coaching session. And these episodes are becoming my favorite because they're not necessarily just about fixing everything in one conversation, but they're about really identifying what's actually holding your business back and creating clarity around the real bottleneck and helping you see what needs to shift next. And then obviously, because we all know insight alone doesn't create results, the implementation does. We talk a little bit about that as well. So this is going to be a fun episode. Anyone listening, as we're going through, I'm going to introduce our guest in a second. But as you're going through, if you're thinking, oh my gosh, this is me too, which it might be, I want you to be taking notes. Have your notebook ready. Take notes. Take the same action items that I'm recommending for our guest here and pay attention to where you might be spinning or overthinking or, trying to do things in a way that isn't actually supporting your business. But I'm so excited to welcome Taryn onto the podcast. So Taryn, welcome. So good to have you here. And I know you're a mom, you're a teacher, and you're the founder of Everbee Clayco. And you create dreamy polymer clay earrings that are really inspired by the beach and by the ocean. I was checking out your pieces before we went live today, and they have such a calming coastal vibe, all of your designs. So I really love that. So I know you started your business as a creative outlet and you're kind of like at that point, I believe, where you're wanting more structure and more intention and a clearer path. So I'm excited to have you here today. I'm excited to have you here for this coaching session. And I just want to start us off by giving you a massive shout out because this is a very vulnerable thing to do, to come live on a podcast and share your biggest challenges, blocks, whatever's coming up in your business with listeners from 98 countries around the world. Like, this is a very vulnerable thing to do. So huge shout out to you for being here.
Thank you. Thank you.
And yeah, anything I missed from the intro that you'd like to add?
No, but thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it. And I love that you noticed the beachy coastal vibes. I'm on the East Coast, so a lot of inspiration there from the beach.
Oh, I love it. I'm very much a beach vibes person, so it's totally my cup of tea. But yeah, I'm excited for this. And I'm also excited for our listeners because when someone like you comes on and you're so open about, what you're struggling with, and these are often the things that we keep inside and we think it's just us and we think we have to figure it out alone. When other people navigating something similar hear this, it also helps shift their perspective. It helps them in their businesses. So I'm really excited for this. And before we dive in, I want you to just take a deep breath and think about your business right now, where it is right now. Not like the long-term dream of your business, not where you want it to be, just where it is right now. Where would you say you feel the most friction or the most frustration in your business? What is feeling heavy? What's feeling hard at this stage?
I think for sure the online platform, the online sales and online platform. I love and do a lot of local markets here, and that's gone really well. And I feel like one of my struggles is the social media, the online platform and presence there. It's just a lot to keep up with. I don't always know where to navigate that aspect of my business. So that's been a struggle for me.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, you're definitely not alone in this. And it's so interesting because having your markets go well shows us that we have that proof of concept. We have customers, but the online side can feel really hard. So, if nothing were to change over the next 90 days, if this was to stay exactly as it is, what would that cost you?
If it stays the same as it is, honestly, I would like to do more with my business. I would like to grow my business. It is my passion, my side project, my small business. I do work full time, so this has been something that I've been wanting to grow to see where it goes. So I kind of go back and forth because the online presence sometimes feels more daunting and makes it feel more like work. and I want it to be that fun, creative outlet. So I'm just trying to navigate the kind of that disconnect between the two. If nothing changed, I guess I just wouldn't see the growth online and the online sales. And I just try to continue to put myself out there in person versus online. But I want to try to find a balance and be able to do both.
Mm, I love that so much. And the reason this is so important for us to identify, so often we navigate challenges in our business and we don't actually take a moment to like look at what the cost of is of us not changing things. When we can clearly identify why this is so important to us, it makes us easier for us to prioritize and then to actually go take action. So everything that you shared makes so much sense. And I'd love to go even deeper because what I'm hearing, you're a full-time teacher, you're a mom, this is your passion and creative outlet. And so not being able to grow the online sales means we have to do more events, which again,
Mm-hmm.
events are so great. They're so much fun and they're so much time and energy and
Yeah,
money.
yeah, yeah,
So
absolutely.
it's like the time, energy, and money to that. Awesome. I mean, we can do it, but also it's like that's a lot. You probably already, I don't know how many you're doing at this
Mm-hmm.
stage.
Yeah, it depends
Um,
on the season and the weekend, but online it definitely would be great to have those sales coming in while I'm at work or while I'm at the kids' sports, and still be able to not have to dedicate full days and weekends to some of these markets too. So,
yeah, 100%. So talk to me when you're working on your online side of the business, like what does that look like for you right now?
right now, honestly, not much. Just because I went completely, I just try to be as present as possible with the online, with the in-person markets for the holidays. So I felt a little bit of burnout after that. So I'm just
Mm,
trying to take the beginning of the year a little bit easy, but also start to focus on what my goals would be. And that would be starting to do, once again, the online launches, something that used to work really well that I keep thinking about going back to. I used to do monthly boxes, which were like mystery boxes of pairs where I would put a color inspiration and give an idea of what was coming and do a lot of that online, almost like teasers for what was coming and drive the sales that way. And that's something that I've fallen off of as well. So just trying to find the motivation and inspiration, I guess, to get back out there and put myself out there.
okay, this is really good. I'm just taking notes here as we go, Taryn. Um, I see this happen a lot. What you're navigating right now. I see this come across with so many jewelers that I speak to, and it's interesting. Trying to find the motivation and inspiration is challenging.
Mm-hmm.
Like that tends to come when we build momentum in the business. But talk to me a little bit more because I checked out your Instagram before we hit record. I know you're selling on Etsy right now as well, I
Yes.
believe.
Yep.
Yeah.
Etsy.
Okay. So before we dive into like my perspective on this, when you're looking at your Instagram and your content, and I haven't even seen your emails and the marketing that we're doing there, but
Mm-hmm.
do you feel like you know what to do in theory? Is the struggle that you're having the execution of it, like being consistent in it,
Mm-hmm.
or is it speaking to the right people, or is it like what part? Where do you think things are kind of falling apart there?
I mean, maybe a little bit of both, but I would think the consistency is more of my issue there. I have great customers online. I have a lot of repeat customers, so it's not
Mm,
necessarily reach in that way. Of course, it would be better to reach a broader audience, but I feel like I've had a lot of the same people show up and found that really great community online, which has been wonderful over the last few years. But it's more just that consistency of posting, and I want it to look a certain way. So sometimes trying to carve out the time to do it, to have it look the way that I want to, or I overthink about what I'm going to post and then I don't post. And then I feel like my online presence is missing for a little while too.
yeah. So the perfectionism, the overthinking,
Mm-hmm.
consistency,
Yeah.
like that all
Yep.
plays in so much. And I'm so glad you brought this up. Yeah. It's funny how these are the things that often stop us from showing up, that
Mm-hmm.
like wanting things to be really like the best that we can put them out there so that they're
Yeah.
effective in driving sales. And in doing that, we often hinder our own sales. So
Mm-hmm.
I think this is really interesting. So if you had to be really honest with yourself right now, like when you're looking at this, like what is keeping you stuck at this place where you are overthinking, where you are chasing perfectionism a little bit, where it is hard to be consistent when we know that online has so much potential?
I think it's I think it's maybe feeling like everything has to be grand. The
Mm,
online launches, I've felt like at certain points, it's not enough. I need to create more. I need to make more before I put it out there. I have to create more pieces, more colorways, more. So it's then it ends up being something huge where I could do little mini launches, and I have told myself that it doesn't always have to be tons of pieces. It could be a few one of a kinds. It could be but I always tend to make it more than it is and try to make it this bigger event, maybe, I guess, to drive people's interest. Whereas a few pieces here and there probably could to do just as much. So,
yeah. You know what? It sounds like you're on this launch, market, sell, repeat
mm-hmm.
hamster wheel, which
Yeah.
is a lot. Like
Mm-hmm.
that, to be navigating that if you are a full time business owner, that's a lot. When this is on the side of a full time job,
Mm-hmm.
like, man, the headspace, the energy to be able to do that, that is, that's a lot, even if we're launching smaller collections. So
Mm-hmm.
just keep that in mind. There's nothing wrong with you for falling off track there. I think you're like, the weight of that is a lot. So,
Mm-hmm.
um, what's going to happen if we keep trying to do this way? What's going to happen if we keep, having these big goals and big launches that we want to do,
Mm-hmm.
then kind of feeling overwhelmed, trying to be consistent, overthinking our posts?
Mm-hmm.
What's that going to lead to?
I think it's going to continue to lead to me losing presence online, or feeling that burnout and kind of disappearing for longer online than I would like to. And I
Mm,
just, it sounds terrible, but the more it feels like work, it's like this is supposed to be my outlet, my passion. So when it feels like it's daunting, I can put it on the back burner for a little bit. And then that tends to make me MIA for a little while online or online launches. And that's something that I don't want to keep doing. But sometimes it just feels like that hamster wheel, like you said, of either keeping up with what others are doing, which I think I'm feeling better about being able to not feel like I have to keep up with that. But then even just for myself, not always making it such a big task, and that's what's going to keep me from showing up, I guess.
yeah, that makes a lot of sense, Taryn. So are you open to some coaching around this?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. I always like to ask just in case someone's like, you know
Hmm.
what? No, don't tell me.
No, absolutely.
um,
I'd appreciate it.
I'm gonna pull up your Instagram here. So it's Everbee Clayco,
Yeah.
and when I'm looking at everything that you've shared with me now, like obviously the online sales is a big challenge for you right now, and
Hmm.
I know in our link tree, all I'm seeing is Etsy. And
Hmm.
Etsy is great for some businesses. I have a whole podcast on why it's not the best platform to be on.
Hmm.
But my concern with it is that even if you are doing very effective marketing, even if your marketing was crushing it, you're sending people to a website platform that you don't own, and
Hmm.
where Etsy is then showing them other designs very similar to yours, probably
Hmm.
underpricing and like encouraging customers to buy. So that's just something to keep at the back of our minds. That's not what we're going to dive into now, but where we send people to purchase online does matter a lot. And it may
Hmm.
seem like overwhelming to build out our own website, but it's really powerful in the long run. It's just something to keep in mind. So we're looking at your Instagram now. We have by Taryn, handcrafted polymer clay earrings, handmade in RI/CT, Mama Teacher Maker. Amazing. So our profile picture is also your logo, which is a
Hmm.
beautiful logo.
Oh, thank you.
But what we're missing right off the bat here, Taryn, is that we're forgetting that you are the secret sauce in your business. Do you know how many polymer clay jewelry brands there are on Instagram right now? it's out of
Very
control.
saturated. Yeah.
There are tens of thousands of
Mm-hmm.
polymer clay jewelry brands. It's not a bad thing. It actually is not a bad thing at all. But it does mean that if we just say that our differentiator is that we sell polymer clay earrings, it's really hard to stand out.
Mm-hmm.
It's really, really hard. So the very first step that you're going to want to do is we need to niche down. Step one is niching down. And it's not just even ocean vibed jewelry or whatever, polymer clay. Like we have to niche down even further to be as specific as possible so that when your ideal customer sees your page and sees your messaging coming through, they're like, oh my gosh, Taryn is talking to me.
Mm-hmm.
She's talking to me. And this doesn't have to be something super like out there. We actually want to look at you and your story and niche down to that, because then your content becomes genuine, it becomes authentic, it becomes effortless, it's going to become more fun as well, the better you get at it. So niching down is step one, and putting your photo as the profile picture is step two. Okay. Once we've niched down, we need to optimize your bio. Right now, your bio is not optimized. Your bio, it needs to be written for a new person who's just found your page, who's just going to pop on there for 3 seconds maximum and decide follow or not.
Okay.
And within 3 seconds, they're making that decision. Right now, there's not a lot to be like, yes, I'm in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then when we're looking at your page, we don't have any highlights. Highlights are very valuable for nurturing people and also introducing new people to your brand. So we need those key highlights. We need to make sure we are hitting all the different content buckets with those highlights. And then our pinned posts are really important. We can have 1 to 3 pinned posts, but we need to be able to introduce people to our brand. Now, what I'm noticing here is I'm scrolling through, you have gorgeous jewelry, but we don't have, I don't see any picture of you anywhere.
Mm-hmm. It's
Or
way
a
down
video
there.
of
It's
you. I
way
don't
down
see
there.
your face. I can't see your face. So do you know what we're kind of leaving? Like one of the biggest, again, differentiators of your brand is you. You are the differentiator. You are the person that people are going to fall in love with, the feeling that you're selling, the way you show up. You're going to be very relatable to a certain market because you're a mom, you're a teacher, you have this like a busy lifestyle. That is going to be so relatable to so many people. But if we're not showing that, we're missing out. We're missing out on building deeper connections. We're missing out on building a lot of trust. I like your page is absolutely gorgeous. Like the jewelry's been photographed on the jewelry cards. Beautiful. That's really great for driving sales of people who already know, like, and trust you. It's very hard to convert a cold audience through that type of content. So we need to actually look at the structure, your marketing, essentially your marketing strategy as a whole. We need to make sure the messaging aligns with your actual niche once it's been refined. So that's the first step, is align the messaging, which means all of our content going out is like a human being talking to another human being, not a business talking to a customer, which right now is how it's framed. It's like searching for the perfect holiday gifts, XYZ. Nothing wrong with that. So many people do that. And it used to work really well. But in today's market, essentially, people want to buy from people they know, like, trust. And it's easy to lean into that. So we need to look at the marketing strategy, the messaging. Is all of this making sense so far?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. We need your face in there. We need you embracing taking up space, letting it be scrappy. And we need you speaking to all the buyer types. Because again, right now, most of your content is speaking to buyers who already know, like, trust you. We're not talking to new buyers. We're not talking to all the different buyer types through our content. We are not optimizing our hooks and the structure of the posts at all for conversions. We're not, I see one type of content pretty much the whole way through. We don't have content that's focused on driving visibility, focused on driving conversion, focused on driving sales. We don't have those 3 categories here. And so that makes so much sense why when you do get sales online, it's repeat customers, because this is speaking only to repeat customers on the like biggest half.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So this is just like one kind of portion here. And I just want to see the CTA. We're missing a lot of CTAs. We need to ask for the sale. We need to
Okay.
ask for the sale. It depends
Okay.
on what type of content, but we need to really essentially look at your marketing strategy here of the company. Again, this is going to translate to your email marketing as well. Are we doing email marketing?
No.
No. Okay.
That's another thing. No, I'm not.
Yeah. So email marketing is like such an it's like one of those things that is so impactful for a business like yours because
Mm.
you're not even dealing with the algorithm. So when you send out emails to your email list, it is going straight to the top of their inbox. You're not competing with the algorithm. It's such a underutilized tool in
Mm.
business. And so we want to look at that. We want to, I don't want to overwhelm you here, but these key elements are going to have a huge impact on getting more people to know about you and your business,
Mm-hmm.
building that know, like, trust factor, and then driving them to actually go and purchase online. And that's
Okay.
just one way that we can be driving online sales. We can
Mm-hmm.
also be turning your pop-up customers into repeat buyers online through retargeting email strategies. So that's
Mm-hmm.
another thing that you want to look into is the
Okay.
retargeting email strategies. But let's keep it simple. I know we're coming up for time here. Does this all make sense so far?
Yes. And I feel like some of it's things that I just know that I need to do and just haven't put myself out there. I've had people say, "We don't see your face. Show us." And that's something that I just hadn't been very comfortable with. So I didn't know how to start doing that while it still felt authentic.
Yeah, 100%. And you're not alone in that. I mean, we have clients all the time who come in and work with me, and that's their thing where they're like, I don't want to be on camera. Don't want to be on camera. And if I'm on camera, how do I show up genuinely? Well, we start taking little steps, and we have a process we walk our clients through to actually do this. I have a client who wouldn't even be in her wedding photos. That's how camera shy
Oh
she
wow.
was.
Yeah.
And we got her talking on camera in a couple of days. So
Okay.
we take them through a process, but it's essentially being like, you know what? It's going to be uncomfortable. We're going to take small, tolerable steps here, and we're going to let it be messy. And we just start. We start with small, tolerable steps, and then we build up and we take it from there. And everyone goes at a different pace. But if you can do one thing this year that's going to have a huge impact on your business, it's embracing being the face of your brand, embracing
Okay.
taking up space, embracing getting used to using your voice.
Okay.
Your voice and you as a human being is like the most powerful part of your business. You are the differentiator. And that's why there can be jewelry brands where they can have the exact same designs as someone else and their prices can be 5 times higher, and people will still choose them over the cheaper brand because they love that person, the feeling, the vibe, all of that. So we want to lean into that. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So yeah, what I really like about this is I know earlier you were talking about how you find it hard to find inspiration and motivation sometimes to be showing up. What I'm seeing here is that your problem isn't motivation or inspiration. It's just
Okay.
structure. What we need is a structure that supports you as a very busy teacher and mom who probably has snippets of time throughout the day. You probably never have a 5-hour work block to work on your business.
Right. Yeah,
So
that's very hard to come by.
so what you actually need to actually shift this is we need structure. We need the right structure in your business. We need the right systems to simplify it. Like when you're hearing email marketing, you're probably thinking, Robyn, I don't have 8 hours a month to spend on that. We don't need 8 hours a month. We just need the right systems in place and the right structure in place to implement your content effectively, to be recording your content effectively, to understand our voice, to be optimizing our website, build our website out and then optimize. So it's really a structure issue. It's not a motivation. More motivation or inspiration isn't going to help this business. It's just the structure. And when you have like the right structure, the right support in there, you're going to build momentum. Motivation comes with taking action and with the momentum. So we don't even have to worry about that. How does that feel?
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I feel like it
Eh,
is the structure that I'm lacking and needing. So,
Yeah, 100%. So I'm so glad we dived into this because I think I see this with so many other jewelry business owners. We start beating ourselves up and we start feeling guilty, and we sometimes tell ourselves maybe we're lazy or I should be doing more or XYZ. No, that's not the case at all. Like, you need to give yourself so much grace because you're a busy teacher, you're a mom, and what the real problem is here is just the structure of the business. We need
okay.
to structure it so that we're using your 7-minute time blocks very effectively throughout the week.
Yeah.
You know how to speak to your ideal customer in a very genuine way. We build that tolerance for being online slowly through, again, maximizing those 7-minute pockets that you have throughout the day. And then we know that when you're showing up, when you have those pockets to show up, we know that you're actually showing up in a way that is building trust, it is building connection, it is driving brand awareness. Otherwise, you're spending all this time on the business, but it's actually, we're doing stuff, you're working really hard, and you're spending time on it, but it's not even hitting, which is like
Right.
the frustrating part.
Right. And then that's the part
Yeah.
that makes me feel like I work backwards at that point.
Yeah. 100%. 100%. So that all makes sense, Taryn.
Mhm.
Yeah. Any
Yes.
questions there?
No, I just feel like when you say that, it's like a weight almost is lifted right away. Just when you're like, it's not the motivation or inspiration, it's the structure. And it's like that
Yeah.
makes a lot of sense. So,
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. So I'm so glad that's a weight lifted off your shoulder, because yeah, I'm so happy to hear that because again, it's just structure. It's something that's fixable. It's something that will make a huge difference to the business. It's going to impact your online sales. It's going to impact how much time you spend on the business as well in a good way. It's going to impact your profit. And not just for you, for everyone who's listening, who's like, oh my gosh, Taryn, I'm in the same boat. I'm in the same boat. So what we uncovered today, is really powerful because it shows you that it's not like results in your business. Growing your online sales is not necessarily about effort or talent. You've got effort, you've got the talent, you've got the work ethic and excitement about your business. And it's not about you needing to do more at all or try harder. It's really just about the structure in your business. And what happens often when a business starts as a creative outlet, which I think is your brand, and then we're needing ourselves to be doing more to grow our income, or we need more consistency or more income or whatever it is. In the early days, we kind of hustle and that works for a short time, but it's not very sustainable with life when you have a job, when you have kids, when you have other things happening.
right.
And so we never need to push harder. We usually need to take a step back,
Okay.
take a deep breath in, and look at the structure. And then we just need to have that structure, have that support to actually show up in those little pockets of time consistently. You'd be so shocked at how much you can shift things even in 90 days with those little pockets of time, which is great. So yeah, I think this has been super powerful, Taryn. I'm excited to hear how this goes for you. And I think for anyone listening, it's just a reminder, you often think you need to completely change things or double down or like spend way more hours on the business to shift the results, to shift the sales, and that's just not the case at all. It's so often the structure or like things we need to cut or things we need to simplify. And so I hope that encourages anyone listening to like make this the year that you shift things in your business. Make this the year you increase the profit, increase the sales, but don't do it in a way where we're doubling down and working more. We're working smart. We're working smart and we're being strategic about that. But huge shout out again for being here, Taryn. This has been so much fun. And, if at any point you decide you want help implementing what we talked about today, that's, and for anyone listening as well, that's exactly what we do inside the Jewelry Business Academy. And yeah, thank you for being here. Thanks for being so open. And I'm excited to hear how it goes.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I really appreciate your insight. It was wonderful. So I appreciate it.
It is such a pleasure, Taryn.